Good morning. Thank you for that. So this is what I thought I would do this morning because the theme of the whole Britain Means Business show is about collaboration and how to be able to accelerate growth. So that's what we do as a business. So essentially, as it was just alluded to there, is that we are company shortcuts. And essentially we work with businesses that are looking to accelerate their sales growth by helping them implement a scalable sales engine for their business. So I'm going to talk through how we help businesses do that, and I'm also going to give you some ideas as to how you could introduce collaboration and how we have managed to actually achieve a fast growth business by using collaboration as a tool for us. And it's really helped us really overcome some of those awkward moments and how you deal with it. So this is basically what we do. We offer consultancy, we run a couple of really great sales conferences a year, we offer masterclasses for sales training, we have a fantastic leadership program, and we also have a ton of free frameworks online. So if you're a business that you're growing and you're going through that stage of growth where you're trying to think about how do I actually get more sales in and how do I scale my sales function, and you've maybe made a few really rotten hires or you've spent money on a really expensive CRM and it's just not working, then the company shortcuts model will really, really help you to be able to overcome that hurdle, that bump in the road. So this is what we do, is we look at a business and we think, how can we help them accelerate growth in these four key areas? First of all, we look at sales strategy. We then look at their team. We look at how they manage their process and how well that's templated. And then finally, have the team got the right skills and the right techniques to be able to deliver the strategy. So I'll go through these individually and I'll give you a couple of examples, and then again, as I mentioned before, I'll come back and focus on, particularly when it comes to team and strategy, team and process, how having an ethos of collaboration can really, really help accelerate your growth. So when you start a business, you tend to think that, you have a plan, but what you very soon discover is as soon as you start to execute that plan, it starts to begin to look a little bit like this. And even though when you do get on the right track and you're kind of forging ahead and you've found your market and you've found your product and you've got the right channel and you're making money, is you still then, it tends to kind of end up looking a little bit like that. So what I would suggest is that in terms of strategy is really focusing on the right product in the right channel with the right response, solving a client's pain whilst making a profit. And you really, really need to think about what is your unique point of difference and how that is going to help differentiate you, and how do you accelerate that through the organization, right through the sales team. I'll give you an example is we were just working last week with a company in Milan, a company called EU Promotions, and they offer promotional gifts and programs to retailers throughout Europe, operations in about 17 countries. And when we really, really, really drilled them on what currently was their sales strategy, what we realized was they'd gone back to that railway line where they had a million different things going on, and they had lost the focus of what is their real unique point of difference and how is that communicated both externally and internally. So the second part of the model was really about building a team. And very often when you're on a growth journey yourself, there's a point of transition where you go from being the person who does all of the sales. So you may have the original owner founder or a key member of the team who is what we like to describe being the heroic sales leader. And the next step of growth is you have to build a team. You have to recruit the right people, you have to give them the right responsibilities. It's all got to be focused, it's got to be measured, there's got to be good culture, they've got to be well led, and you've got to find the right talent that fits into your part of the jigsaw. And it's a real challenge, and there's so many people make mistakes in this area. They either try and employ somebody too early, so somebody who is too expensive for the business, but they need that level of skill set, and or what they try and do is they try and cut corners and hire the wrong people, hoping they'll become the right people. And this is a key area where collaboration and using that ethos and thinking differently about how you can build a team to scale can really, really help. The third area in the model was about templates. And before you can actually scale, you really, really need to understand what is your sales process. You know, there is a sales process in your business, whether you know it or not. There is a point where how do you attract customers, the right kind of customers, what we call your client avatar? How do you get them engaged within your company and then take them through a process so that they become paying clients and then maintain and maximize that relationship ongoing and do it in a profitable way? And it happens, but most people don't understand how it happens. And what they try and do is they try and it's almost like they might have one superstar person in the business that just seems to do it and be well organized and has it sorted, and it's like, well, just be like them. But unless you can understand what they're actually doing, you can't duplicate it. And if you're going to create scale in your company, you have to understand that so you can then be able to scale. So how we address this and how we suggest you address it is, the first thing is just to map it. And it's an exercise that we do regularly with our clients. So this is an example of one of our clients where they started the process literally with a blank sheet of paper and a bunch of post-it notes and started to kind of go, what actually happens at the moment? And that was the version 2, where, you know, we'd kind of gone back in and reviewed it and then said, well, look, how can we improve this? You know, where have we got cul-de-sacs and leaky buckets and we're losing opportunities or we're not managing them correctly? So that we can then also put the customer at the heart of the experience. So you can really start to make that point of difference, linking back to your strategy as to how you actually sell yourself. So this was the end version for that particular client. I'm not sure whether this is going to play, but I had a short video here that if it will play, it may or may not. This is an example of that actually happening in real life with a client, where what we've done is we've taken their team and split them into 3 parts that made sense for their business. This is a company called Excalibur, a telecommunications company. So that team on the left were the new business team. The team in the middle were the operations team, and the team on the right were the account management team, the people who look after customers once they've already won them. And basically over the course of a morning, we got them to really understand their process so they could then take it away and improve it, think about what IT they need to support it, what KPIs they need to run off it, what measurements, what's going to help them understand the trends. And ultimately what comes out of this within your business is your scalable plan, to understand what your templates are. And just to make you aware, is on our Company Shortcuts website, we've done a lot of this work for you, and these are completely free. We have about 100 free business templates that for sales acceleration specifically that you can download so you can take the shortcuts and use them straight within your business. The last area on our growth model is about technique. And this is often the phone call that we get from a company. We'll get the phone call that says, can you come in and help us train our people to sell? And the answer is, of course, we can do that. We need to ensure that you've got what we call sales secrets, is our training methodology for sales training. And you need to make sure that your team have got the right skills for the right part of the sales process that they're in, and that can be trained. If anybody wants to take me up on the argument about whether salespeople are born or bred, I'll have a good chinwag with you. But my personal opinion is that we all have it within us. We've all been that cheeky toddler who wouldn't accept a no, who when they wanted something, they were very persuasive and they went ahead and got it. And what we need to do is we need to reconnect with that essence within us so that we can then draw it out of our people to be able to help them to grow. So coming back to the theme of today's show, the whole business show here, which was about collaboration. And I just thought I would share with you some ways of thinking, because it is really tough when you are going through that growth phase. If you are, under a million turnover, or you're in that phase where you're between 1 to 5 million, or in some cases even 6 to 10, is as the business grows, everybody's roles start to get narrower, and suddenly you need to be able to introduce new skill sets into the business. But we think that the only way that we can do this is to hire people, is to take them on in a salaried role. And actually, for a growing business, that is one option. But you can actually find different ways of doing it. You can insource, you can outsource, or you can recruit. And there's more than one way to recruit as well. It doesn't always have to be a full-time, full salaried role. So what I suggest people to do is to look at their process, the example being there, and then work out which parts of their process could either be delivered by people outside of their core team, outside of their business, on a part-time basis, or from elsewhere within the company. The mistake that people make, particularly when it comes to team and particularly when it comes to sales acceleration, is it's a bit like saying, and tonight, Matthew, do you remember that show? I'm going to be your sales solution. And they think this person is going to arrive in their business who is going to be the one solution and is going to take care of all of their sales growth needs. And of course, it never happens like that. You can't find those people, especially when you're a small business. And if you do, they're normally too expensive. And actually, normally they're not a good cultural fit either. So if you take the story of Company Shortcuts, and we're in our second phase, and we are going through a huge amount of accelerated growth at the moment. Our run rate is 245%. We've grown from 2 to 13 people in 24 months. So that's pretty aggressive growth. But actually how we've done it is we've done it by collaboration, by finding people who want to work with us, who are prepared to be part of our team, and we've given them particular responsibilities. And we've found a way to make it work for both them and us. So I've got a couple of examples here. These are all businesses or people from within those businesses who work for us. So instead of hiring someone as a full-time admin, we started off with someone who came in on an hourly basis and worked virtually. And that person now does about 50 hours a month for our company. She started doing 4. So we've been able to scale her commitment to the business as the business has grown. And however, she represents Company Shortcuts as far as all of our external clients are prepared. No, that person in our team is Company Shortcuts, is part of the team. Blue Sky revenue generation is quite an interesting case study as well, because that was a very enthusiastic, young, bubbly lady who basically stalked us for about a year and actually was working for another company and did telephone generation, appointment leads, follow-up calls, and would form a vital part in anybody's sales process. And initially was trying to get us as a client, which she did for her other business. And we spotted real talent in this person, and we thought, wow, let's really see how we can support her. And initially she was looking to exit the company that she was with. But when we really sat down and talked to her and found out what she was about and what she actually really wanted was to grow her own company. So we suggested and said, well, rather than actually come on board and into our payroll, let's help you set up your company and we'll be your first client. So that was the boost that she needed to be able to get her business off the ground. And there was an agreement. So Company Shortcuts owns a small percentage of her company now, and as well as offering services to us, we pay her for that service. Is that she also gets support and mentoring and so on from our leadership team. But she's a great success story because she's grown from herself to a team of 5 people in under 12 months. So it's a great example of where. But again, when they're part of our sales process, and her and her team are a vital part of our sales process, our clients wouldn't know that. And part of the reason that has worked is because from day one, we have treated this team as if they were employed. We have taken these people on board, asked them to sign up to our values, They're part of our, we have team meetings. They come to our Christmas parties. They're part of our overall team structure, and I talk to them as if they are team. And it is really about thinking about how to create that culture. And it's pretty amazing, actually, because you get the culture piece right. I know that's just a picture of a funky office, but it's an example of a nice cultural funky office. Is that it actually doesn't make any difference now in our team, whether you are actually on the payroll or whether you are one of our collaborators, is these people would die for us. And in fact, even just a couple of nights ago, I was busy working away, still sending emails at silly o'clock at night, and they were sending them back. My team was still online at 10 to midnight, and there was one point where I had to basically tell somebody to just go to bed, stop working. And you get that when you get passion, but it doesn't always have to just be through thinking who is going to be my next hire, because there is that growth curve where you're trying to measure the increase in the top line with the increase in your overheads and your bottom line, and make sure that you can maintain your margins in a way that is sustainable and is not going to drain your business of all its available cash. So make sure that everybody understands what the why is of the business. Make it known the kind of skill sets that you need to help you accelerate growth. Put out a cool job alert throughout your network. And whether it's somebody who you just get on a 1 day a month, 2 days a month. I've got people in my team who work 6 half days a month, two full days a month, on a project by project basis, but they're all part of the Company Shortcuts team. And essentially, I just thought I would share that with you, as I thought it was a different way of thinking about how could you scale growth in your own business if you're also at that point of growth, where you're trying to think about, I need a team, we need more sales, we need to be growing this, but you haven't got the capacity or the resource to be able to actually put in a fully functioning front to back sales engine. Then the way to do it, team is always the answer. People will always help you find the right solutions for your growth challenges, but do it in a way that helps them fulfill what their ambitions are and what their goals are, and they'll reward you massively. They'll reward you hugely. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some food for thought. Enjoy the rest of the day.